Oh, I punched the microphone. Shit, sorry. Did I hurt somebody's ears? I apologize. I'm really sorry. I gave it the 5-knuckle shuffle. My bad. We'll all recover. Welcome, because it's Friday once again. That's right. It's fucking Friday. That's like the week just flies by. There's also a web show tomorrow, right? Ghosty's here. I have a surprise for Ghosty, and it's going to annoy him because he's going to find out. But yeah. Well, he's going to find out there's a surprise. Ghosty hates surprises, like, so much that it makes me happy to surprise him. And it's also my child's birthday party this weekend. My God, so much going on, and I'm so thankful that all of you tune in on Friday afternoon. But you can do me a little favor. You could do me a favor, and I'll mention it again at the end of the show. They are looking for people to be on the Blizzard launcher thing. Right in the face. So I tweeted at the person who's checking who should go on it. Nithera? I just tweeted. Retweet it for me. Why not? Do yourself a favor. If you want to help us out in some way, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just retweet. Just retweet it. Let's try and get the Legacy series on there. Even if you don't want to support me, that's fine. Support somebody, right? Get their names out there. Get them out there. So do what you want to do. Include them in the tweet and do all that kind of stuff. Lots of new faces here today. I see you. I see you wonderful people. So, let's begin. I have some interesting stories for you. I pulled one out of the wild and wacky. But, I'm saving the good ones till tomorrow, like the really freaky ones. We're going to get freaky, we'll do that tomorrow. But this one's a little bit on the freaky side. A little bit. I won't do that one yet. I'm going to save that for the middle. How long? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you, wonderful people, this very, very simple question. How long does it take to kill a guild? How long does it take to kill a guild? Realistically speaking. How long does it take to kill a guild? I would be curious to see. I think most of you probably know the answer, actually. I'm gonna be in support of you guys. I'm gonna be absolute support of you guys of how long it does it. Of how, like, 2 weeks, seconds, 1 day. Yeah, as he says, 1 day, 1 raid night. More specifically, 1 raid night can kill a PvE guild. No worries whatsoever. No worries. All it takes is something to go horribly wrong on 1 raid night. And that can kill your guild. Like, kill it. Dead. No love. No joy. All just the nightmares that you just don't want to think of. It takes about a day. You can do it in a day. Pretty safely. Lots of guilds have started a raid. Lots and lots of you out there have started a raid. And by the end of that raid, the guild has been completely fucked. Like, absolutely fucked. All it can take is 1 drop. And someone said it earlier. 1 drop. 1 piece of loot can destroy a guild. Absolutely destroy it, especially when people start siding with their friends and all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of stories of dead guilds here today, and we're gonna have some fun with that. So let's start with this one with a bro fist from Slovenia, right? I know, Slovenia, rock and roll. You have no clue where that is. I do know where Slovenia is. Small clue, it's in the EU. Thank you very much. Hope you get to read my story, and I know my grammar ain't the best, but bear with me. It's a good one about shit raiders and shitter officers. Yeah. Shit raiders and shitter officers. Oh, good. Oh, good. Cry more, die more, Slovenian style. Right, we're going to be picking names as we go along the way. The story takes place all the way back in Team Vanilla, right? Which we recently did when we covered Threat and the history of Threat. In Vanilla days with my first proper guild. I still remember the game, age 17 when I purchased it. And lying that I was actually 18 to join a guild. Do any guilds really enforce that? Like, 18 only thing? How do you know? Do you enforce the good book? Do you take it to the good book? Is that part of the application process? It does make sense in a way. Like 18 generally should be, hopefully, probably not, be more mature than, you know, like a 12-year-old or something. But I don't think so. 18 is who's fallen for that though? When they're like, oh, you've got to be 18, and then you go, oh, I'm 16. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Why would you just not go, yeah, I'm 18? No worries. So I was 18 to join the guild a few months after release. So I played, brace yourself chat, this is for real, I'm reading this from the story. I chose is the important thing here. This guy chose to play an orc female warrior. What? Why would you do that? I just don't get it. In Vanilla, where it didn't really matter, you had the choice of Tauren though, and Undead, and male orc, and everything but female orc. But you went with a choice of a female orc warrior. And yes, this is key, I'm a guy. I just love the animations and how gear looks on them. Deal with it. My rogue is still female orc, I think he is. After joining my guild, I figured starting off as a support tank won't be that bad. Off tank, bitch. Off tank, move me. Off tank. Yeah, you start there. You go and tank the banished elementals on Gar. It will make me more important to the guild, and I'll get more priority on loot. Nope. I was to become off tank 4 in a Molten Core guild. See, some of you guys think you've got it bad, right? Some of you think you're in team 2. But once there was a time when you were in team 1, but you were off tank 4. What does off tank 4 get to tank? Most of the pulls in Molten Core are 3. What does off tank 4 get to do? Really? You get to tank, what's that guy? Sulfuron? Sulfuron Harbinger? You get to tank you get to tank at Major Domo and Sulfuron. That's about it. That's your life. Until your main tank has like more gear and he just tanks everything. So you're off tank 4. Good place. Lots of loot priority going to off tank 4. No worries. You'll definitely get that drill borer disc. It's coming your way. No worries. It wasn't all that glamorous, but it did start my first arguments with the officers of the guild. And in a stroke of bizarro events, I climbed up from off tank 4, who just wanted to DPS, to off tank 2. And eventually, MT2. So this is off tank 1, right? He became off tank number 1. Ooh, big boy. And eventually to a backup raid leader, who was in fact the main tank. And also was from Slovenia. In fact, 1/4 of the guild was Slovenian. On all guys I could get along with. Nothing to do about the nationality though. They just generally were nice people. So becoming off tank 1. On another side story, telling you about my luck. So both me and the main tank had about 98% raid attendancy. Them DKP websites that track your attendance. So fun. At one time, one of the bindings for Thunder Fury dropped. You're the off tank. Why? I don't know where this... I don't know. I skimmed through the story. I don't know where this goes. I swear to you. I swear to you on all that is RNGesus. I swear to you on RNGesus' feet. I know where it's going, but you're off tank. You don't get a choice. You're not involved. You're not involved. And one time, one of the bindings of the Windseeker dropped. It was decided the main tank should get it. I went along with it, but the next week he was busy and wasn't attending the raid. And the other half dropped. I got it. Woohoo! But then another week passes and I am busy. The first part drops again. What's worse? What's worse, team? What's worse? Never having it drop. So you only have one half, the bindings of the Windseeker. And no doubt many of you have actually gone to farm the Windseeker, right? Many of you have gone and done it, I have no doubts. What's worse? And this, I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen, by the way. What's worse? It never dropping? Or you're not in the raid when it drops. This has happened. I don't know why you consider this to be fake. That is completely retarded by all of you saying fake, by the way. That's completely retarded. This has totally happened. It happened in my guild. Yeah, it happens. It's RNG. It has nothing to do with how many times you farm it. What's worse? What's worse? I would love to know. I would love to... Not being in the raid? Absolutely. That is so much fucking worse. Not being in the raid. Not being in the raid. Happened to my friend Zaraki. Like, he missed it. It was his only raid he missed and it dropped. Suffice to say... I would also remind those of you who think that it doesn't drop like that to check the guild that got 6 Warglaves in 6 kills. And they were all pairs. I would just say, check that out. It happens, man. Suffice to say, till the end of vanilla, we got no more drops. And neither me or our main tank got a Thunder Fury. That's kind of sad. We just stared at each other, both holding one piece. It was really depressing for the entire time I played. Ah, but then CG came along after 2 months. And after 2 months, we still hadn't managed to clear out Zul'Gurub. Do you think that's good or bad? That's alright. That's alright. Mandakir and Jacklet could be a pain in the ass. Not Mandakir. The last boss, Cata. Then came along one raid night when our main tank was busy. So I was charged to raid lead and be the main tank. Picking the 20 guys from the 50 or so active in the guild was the first challenge. Some didn't sign up, others were late, the usual stuff, but I figured I would take the best I could. That meaning that I should just leave out a few of the randoms, a couple of which were officers. To be honest, our officers were dog shit in what they did. And did I forget to mention, I was only raider status. But the officers didn't want the pressure of being a raid leader. A-holes. Loads of officers were like this in vanilla. Do you have an officer who will not do anything officer-like? I bet you do. I bet you fucking do. I bet you fucking do. I bet you have so many officers who don't want to do anything. Yeah, you're the officer. What's happening? Don't know. No idea. I have the officer status. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no fucking clue, and I'm certainly not leading the raid. They said they didn't want to promote me to officer because they already had a tank officer, saying they only need one tank class leader, and since that was our main tank, we had filled up the quota of officers. Yes, yes, look at you. All of them. Every single fucking one of them. So when a particular warlock, Wakayama, when a particular warlock officer, Wakayama, started pissing around that he not wanted, but demanded to come along to the raid, even after I had set up the raid that he refused to as an officer, I told Wakayama to go and fuck himself. Wakayama was a shit warlock. His DPS was shit. He always thought of himself in charge of a raid and complaining and whining, even though I was the raid leader. He threatened to kick me from the guild, and I only laughed in his face. When the other officers also joined in complaining, including the rogue, Manor Addict, which is an interesting name for the rogue. Picking yellow, that's what I'm doing. Manor Addict leader, who was the rogue leader, Manor Addict, who was in the raid, and the most arrogant prick you could ever meet, that the officers are guaranteed raid spots. That's the argument. Officers are guaranteed raid spots, whether we choose to act like officers or not. We are officers. We are guaranteed raid spots. I told her to shut the fuck up. Bold. I told her to shut the fuck up, or I'll remove them from the raid. The rogue. If they weren't up to raid lead themselves and expect a dirty old normal member who didn't have any privileges in the guild to do their jobs, then they should stay quiet. I was enjoying this more than I should have. Still, they weren't going to kick all the gear I had collected, them tank powers, to kick all the gear I collected. And the fact that I was one of the most active members in the guild and a tank, I was pretty safe. This is what I was talking about, the ego of the tanks. You had power. You did have power. Being a good tank, fuck you. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Sometimes you can be good and wield it to its just and righteous nature. Or you could be a total twat, as some tanks were. Sometimes you're in the right, sometimes you're in the wrong. But either way, you have the power. You are the fucking He-Man. So the raid started off alright. Though I quickly noticed that some people were either suddenly becoming really stupid or were deliberately fucking up because of some conversation that had started from an officer. Suddenly one of them left the raid for fuck all reasons. Probably threatened by that guy just so he would get a spot in. How many of you have seen that? This was classic vanilla stuff. I haven't seen anything like this since probably Wrath of the Lich King, where officers, who were dicks and didn't get in the raid, started whispering people of the same class, asking for a spot. So what would happen is in officer chat or raid leader chat or whatever, they would say to you as the raid leader, because this happened to me, where they would whisper you and be like, I want a raid spot. And you're like, no, I'm bringing, let's say, Alita. Alita's a better warlock. I'm going to bring Alita instead. Fuck you. You didn't want to put the raid together. This is my raid. Zul'Grub, you're not coming. So then they go and whisper Alita saying, can I have your spot? And then they're an officer. And Alita might be a trial or something like that. And then suddenly Alita leaves the raid. And then suddenly you get that whisper. Invite me. Invite me. Invite me. Fucker. Motherfuckers. Or even just straight up threatening them. Fucking assholes, man. I used to hate that shit. I still wouldn't invite them. Fuck off. Not that they were my officers anyway. And when one of the other officers in the raid, I presume the rogue, Manor Addict, invited them, I kicked them both. Yeah. This was my night and my raid. I'd rather invite two complete scrubs than that warlock and that fucking rogue. But after a while, On the third boss, 2 more members left again. I started to get the idea that the officers were threatening members of the raid to leave, just so the 2 officers could get back in. What was I to do? What would you do? What would you do? What was I to do? Your people keep getting threatened. They keep leaving the raid. You're only 3 bosses into Zul'Gurub Rub. This is supposed to be your fun night. This is your fun raid night. You're a Molten Core guild, baby. Get on farm. Shit. And now you're trying to get some ZG going? People keep fucking leaving the raid. Gotta summon them back as well. Oh my god, some of the replacements. Dickheads. What was I to do? I had to take them. Or we no longer had the DPS to kill the bosses. And when Wakayama started whining on TS, I told him to shut the fuck up. I said, I'm the raid leader. I'm telling everyone how to position and what they're doing wrong. And oh boy, were they doing it wrong. Standing in poison and fire was like they were ordered to do it, just so we would have some stupid wipes. And it was turning into a battle of wills. Who were they more afraid of? Wakayama? Them whispering? Or me yelling at them on TS, telling them they were so incompetent that they would and are probably just some lobotomized laboratory monkeys. I find raids respond well when you call them all lobotomized laboratory monkeys. I find that goes well. In our next pull, the healers stopped healing me. At least one of them did. I was the main tank on the run. But he did it during trash, just so the off tank could pick up all the mobs and prevent a wipe. And I couldn't kick him because we didn't have any other healers. Bastard. I have been in a raid like this. I don't know if you have. If you haven't, it's awful. Especially if you're a normal member and you on your shoulder a chant. Fuck me. To be stuck in this nightmare and people are all driving each other crazy. You're like, dude, it's fucking Zul'Gurub Rub. Will you get the fuck on with it? Seriously, I just want my shoulder token. You fucking a-holes. I stuck with it! Even though I had a repair bill at the end of that night over 100 gold. And in vanilla days, that was a lot. Yeah, I was expertly explaining boss tactics trying to keep cool. And we were downing them one by one without a hitch, even though the people who were being messed with didn't fuck up on the kills. Each kill was a complete mess with scrubs failing time and time again on the simple tactics, making me burst out at them each time, humiliating them with phrases like, you're so fucking stupid, it's not even you playing. It's the droll dripping of your chin that's pressing on the keyboard. After a few loot bans and smug remarks on how the stupid shits who got Blackwing lair gear are not worth getting the new gear because they were failing too much, the tide started to turn. They had become more afraid of me than Wakayama and Mana Addict, who wanted to sabotage the raid and make me look like a fool for failing to run a simple Zul'Gurub run. And later I heard they wanted to remove my co-raid leader status. We're going to remove your co-raid leader status. Do you know that? Yeah, seriously. That's going to go down, baby. Like they had anyone to replace me. The broad details of the run elude me because, you know, it's been over 10 years. But I do remember Mana Addict fucking up deliberately on the undead troll boss with the bunch of ads. Jeklik. Where each try lasted so long it could really mess up my schedule for the night. But I turned the tables and told everyone in TeamSpeak how fucking shit Mana Addict was playing for failing his simple task. It pushed him on the defensive, saying it was an honest mistake. He didn't mean to fuck it up. But it did put eyes on him not to fail again deliberately, or we'd have lost all the arrogance gained and the prestige he had with the rest of the members. It also pushed Wakayama over the edge when he said that he was just going to leave and that we should just call the raid because him... They're ready for the next classic! Oh my god, this is so classic. We should just call the raid because suddenly Wakayama and Mana Addict had to leave the raid 30 minutes early. Just so you know, we've got to leave the raid 30 minutes early. We would have told you earlier in the night, but something's just come up in Slovenia that we've got to deal with. So, you know, sorry. Raid finished early because you can't possibly raid without us, you fucking a-holes. They said it was because reasons. That it's an unsanctioned guild run. This is not a regulation guild run. Classic. This is not on the calendar. It's not regulation. I told them to fuck off and leave then, because we're still going to kill Hakar without them. Boom. Fuck off. Oh, you're going to leave? Fuck off. Go on. Bye. The last boss remaining. A boss that we hadn't been able to kill. Didn't you say you had some of Blackwing Lair gear? Lol. They complained, but the majority of the raid said that we should give it a try regardless. And so it happened that I scrounged up 2 replacements, as they did, as they intended, leave the raid on purpose. But they stayed online. We pushed on with 30 minutes left for the rest of the night. Pushing past the trash and me quickly explaining the tactics to the mouth-breathing scrubs, who I bet didn't even know how to tie their shoelaces. So, if they kill Hakar, which I hope you do, by the way. I've not got there yet. If you do kill Hakar, they will probably be able to tie their shoelaces. So we charged in, positioned everything. The Huntards and the off-tank ready at the edges to pull the mobs. Me standing there tanking the big boss. DPS running around, and then a healer died. And people died. It was a wipe at 19%, but I reset the boss quickly, jumping off the edge of the platform, and screamed at what a useless bunch of retarded monkey piss they were, with the most drill sergeant type voice I could muster before we mounted up to attack again, this time explaining every little detail, even where each person should stand at any given time for an encounter. Not explaining that for the first time during the night as because we needed to rush. Zooming out my camera to the max just to see where everyone was at the given time and screaming at them positions each time they moved away or to move back to kill the ad and get the poison resistance buff. It was literally screaming at them where to stand. Away from the edge. 3 meters left of the boss, you dumb fuck. You can't remember simple instructions. Left edge of the staircase. You shit, not the right, and so on. And yes, that helped. The clowns actually managed to kill the boss. Hakar fell. He was dead. I was victorious. My raid leading abilities had been vindicated. And my whole, and behold, that on that day Zinrock did drop. And I figured at the time, fuck the rolls. This is mine. I needed it. I wanted it. I'll pose the question to you now. Smart move or bad move? Smart move or bad move? It was the whole reason I'd even bothered to come to Zul'Gurub. So I took it as payment for bearing this raid over that grueling, drama-filled night. Sure, people complained, but at that point, they were too afraid, demoralised and degraded to offer up any substantial resistance. I didn't even say good job, guys. I just said, finally, you bunch of retards. I was that tired of dealing with these people. And that mean at the time. Maybe not the best way to end a raid, but hey, we completed it. We finished it. And for the first time. Wakayama and Mana Addict could only have it rubbed in their noses and frown at my success and the air of authority that I had now mustered through it all. But it all cemented that I would never be promoted to an officer rank. But it didn't matter. I was still doing officer duties. Next day, though, I learned that 3 people had left the guild because of that raid night. It was too much pressure. They did not enjoy raiding that way. And one of them quit WoW altogether. These days, that guild is long gone. It fell apart like so many others during the initial months of the Burning Crusade. And things have never been quite the same ever since. No guild I've been in has lasted that long, but I still play WoW more casually these days. But I've just never bothered to raid lead ever again. I avoid tanking like the pest, and I'm content with just being a raider. I hope you enjoyed my story. Interesting story. Brought up a lot of nostalgia for me. Absolutely brought up a lot of nostalgia for me. But the Zinrock isn't worth. It's not. But you were a screaming rager. Having said that, I was very anti-ghosty at the time. I did lead my guild to kill Hakar. That's absolutely true. I did do that. I was the raid leader of our first Hakar kill, and certainly the guild was struggling on it before. I was healing it. I was the priest, so I was coordinating everything, and we got it down. Then I got to switch to my warrior, and I came in, and Zinrock did drop. Now, as the raid leader and guild master at the time, I was told I should take it, but I passed it. I did pass Zinrock to a hunter. I did do that. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I think I lost more respect that day than ever before. Because guess what? The hunter already had a better item, it turned out. He just didn't use it for some fucking reason. I don't know. In the raid, he had some... I think he was, like, before transmogging or whatever, it just turned into a whole fucking thing. And, yeah, that was, like, the days. Some of you might even be there. I know, I did do that. And I don't know. I thought I was being Mr. Good Guy. I was young. I was stupid. It was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? 10 years ago. For a hunter. Yeah, it has attack power on it. The Zinrock had attack power on it, which is good for hunters. There was a reasonable reason to do it. And it makes you madder. It might make you madder. I didn't do this, but there are certainly some guilds out there who passed on ash candy, who gave hunters ash candy for the same reason. It had like crit and attack power on it or something fucking stupid. So they gave it to over warriors, over like DPS warriors. They gave ash candy to hunters. Hey, let's not forget the first Thunder Furies went to hunters because no one knew what it was. Oh, do you remember the days before data mining? Nobody knew what this orange thing was, and yeah, hunters got Thunder Fury. So take that. Take that. Yeah, that happened, man. That happened. There's a few occasions of that. There was a few occasions where ash candy was given. Hunters got ash candy. Yeah, it just happened. You were just so mad now, right? But it was a different time, man. Stats worked differently and all that kind of stuff. It was a good stat stick for hunters, but not the best by any means. It was way better in a warrior's hands. But DKP, baby, DKP. This hunter has like way more DKP than you. He can spend it on whatever the fuck he wants. Frankly, a lot of guilds did that. It's your DKP. You can buy whatever the fuck you want with it. Right, I'm going to read a short story for you now. This was so weird. But it's called I Almost Died from World of Warcraft. Right? So let this be a lesson to all of you. Let this be a lesson to all of you, okay? Dear Preacher and Ghoster. Much love to the Ghosty. And a huge triple brofest to you, because we both love your channel so much. Boom. You've taught us so many amazing things. Huge RNGesus be among you. He walks with us all. I bring to you a very small and yet funny story of a gamer girl who completely fucked up. And a short, sweet laugh indeed at a day of playing World of Warcraft that almost killed me. I have no issues with these names being used, as many know this silly story. But we will change them for the sake of our audience being here live. We like doing that. So I need a Blood Elf DK and a guild. It's only one name, actually. The other one is the author, so that very rarely gets mentioned. Who's red? I have rabies. Beautiful. I have rabies. And a guild name, if you guys want to type in some silly guild names, I'll pick one as we go through the story, and then we'll be good to go. Right. I almost died from World of Warcraft. Interesting, right? It was 2014, Mists of Pandaria. I had returned from hiding from the hatred I had of World of Warcraft Cataclysm. I had been a Wrath Girl, and the horror of waking up to all the changes of Cata sent me scrolling to the likes of Aeon, Terror, and Guild Wars 2. But none could satiate that itch. I longed to return to my husband's protective side. WoW is a very big part of our very happy marriage. Husband-wife guild. Stay clear. I should use the real names. So you know. The Knob Goblins. Perfect. The Knob Goblins. The Knob Goblins. But my diligent husband loved World of Warcraft and never left. And every day he helped with guild progression. He tanked raids. Oh, he's a Blood Elf DK. Your husband's a Blood Elf. Ouch. Only kidding. Tanked raids, and we were all pretty good friends. But now Mr. Pandaria had come, and it looked pretty nice. I Have Rabies was being the great guy he was. An officer of the guild said, "Come back. This is a great guild. They are lovely, and I will take care of you." And with a big smile on my face, and under his wing, I moved on to Mists of Pandaria. He was a protector for the newer lower levels that had and helped offer to help them in every way he could. To us and many others, even our kids who play as well. Wow, full family playing? Hardcore. Like my family. Not my side, like, but my brothers. From enchants and gems, gearing, and basically offered all he could. Good guy, I have rabies. All he could to guild resources to help our progression. It was always welcomed and thanked. Everything was rosy, to be honest, and actually still is. The Knob Goblins is a fantastic guild. Well done, I have rabies. I have rabies having now 13 toons, all at max professions, and while he was at work, being the at-home mum I was, I decided I will be useful. I will repay my husband, and asked him, did he want me to farm for him while he was at work, to help with potions, foods, and the like for the guild. Fair enough. Woo! I can think of better ways. But again, I'm not in a WoW relationship, so I don't know. Maybe that's equal to maybe some of the suggestions in the chat. I'm just saying, equal or Bally's at work, so there you go. Okay. He loved this idea. That would be splendid, he said. And like a good little housewife, I began my rounds of collecting for him and playing Mists of Pandaria. Aww. I loved Mop's landscapes. All one of them, two of them. Trees. I leveled and did what was needed. Raiding, relearning my stupid Beastmaster spec. How do you BM though? It's pretty tricky. You gotta think about that one. I tried very, very hard. I actually had more fun gathering and herbing and doing all that kind of stuff for I Love Rabies than anything else. But one day, it came to be that I Have Rabies actually needed fish. I loved the Krasari Falls in Krasarang Wilds. Can I just say, you have a splendid relationship. That is rock solid. If I was to ask my wife to do my WoW fishing for me, I don't think that'd end well at all. I went off to Krasarang Wilds, set myself up in a non-aggro spot and whipped out my pole. Oh, I fished. I fished for 5 hours at that lake. I fished rows and rows, for I Have Rabies to be of good use to my guild. I barely moved. I was so focused on YouTube and playing Wrath soundtrack and fishing, my entire world had fallen away. I must have got lots of fish. Hee hee. Written by such a girl. Hee hee. I got loads of fish. I Have Rabies that night came home to 9 males full of fish. I fucking love you. Shit. Full of fish. He was of course very happy with what he could make with them. I could do with all these fish. I smiled and started to make dinner. What a wife. What a wife. Good little fishy kitchen. But I had an awful cramp in my calf. Thinking, I hadn't gone for a walk at all during that day because I was so fishy. I was so intent on fishing. I proceeded to go and walk the dog late at night and went to bed after a full night of Siege of Orgrimmar. Oh, wow, I hated Siege of Orgrimmar. But I tried very hard to make the guild happy and I did my best. So I fished for the next few days. Till the night came. I was making dinner before the raid. I wasn't feeling so hot. I was constantly trying to catch my breath. I was losing vision, losing my balance, and I had a headache. My first thought was, how could I be good tonight in the raid if I felt so crappy? That's right, I can't see, I can't breathe. How can I raid? That's my first thought too. Oh shit, I've lost my hand. That's a bummer. How will I raid tonight? I grabbed a coffee and toughened up as we're about to raid Siege of Orgrimmar. That's right, full focus. Full focus, people. Now, it's here I should tell you that our guild leader is in fact an RN teacher. I don't know what that means. I was in raid. They were calling shots for each fight. Over time, I realised that I was struggling with even talking. I could barely breathe. My lips were numb. My fingers were like blue and the tips, and they were tingling all over, right up to my elbows. I replied, slurring like a drunk, saying, "Yeah, sorry, Mr. Click." She stopped and said, "You are so out of breath. Are you okay?" I said, "I can't breathe." I've never heard that. She obviously turns out alright, so we can have a bit of a giggle about it. But I've never heard anybody tell me that I can't breathe while I can't breathe. Over the hour, it got so bad. Took an hour. An hour later, her husband came to check on her. An hour after she said, "I literally can't breathe." An hour. It took her husband to go and check on her. Over the hour, it got so bad that I Have Rabies walked into the room to find me practically blue and barely able to breathe. He leaned into my mic to key up to the guild and he said, "I've got to take her for the hospital." Needless to say, the whole raid was pissed. The raid was pissed with me for fucking up the raid because I took the tank away. World of Warcraft, ladies and gentlemen. Hospital? But we're doing Galacrass. You can't go to the hospital during... Are you mad? We're doing Galacrass. Galacrass needs a tank. What do? You fucking a-holes. You fucking a-holes. Come back. Husband, wife. I told you we shouldn't recruit a husband and wife. We lost 2 of them. She's no doubt a priest healer. That's a fucking guarantee. We lost a healer and a tank. GG. Recruiting a husband and a wife. Fucking retards. Told you we shouldn't do that. Told you. When I was called into the ER room and tried to make my... they tried to take my blood, it was like jam. Oh! It was like jam. After scans were done, they found I had a DVT in my calf, a 15 centimetre long clot in my 15 centimetre long clot, and in my lungs I had 3 massive embolisms on my right side and was losing so much oxygen I had to be put on a mask for 3 days. And massive drugs to help thin my blood enough to fix the embolisms. Dude, what? What the fuck? After 9 months, I'm finally off the blood thinners. But the funny thing is, there is a funny side, right? Fucking hell. For 9 months, I'm off the blood thinners. But there's a huge note on my medical records that says it was a World of Warcraft gaming-related injury. Worth. No, not really. That's terrible. Please get off your chair every now and again. Why do you think I get up when I'm doing like a 9-hour stream and take a fucking walk, right? Don't sit in your chair all the time. Trust me. I have to do this for a living. Get out your fucking chair. Have a little walk, man. Have a little fucking walk. Jesus Christ. Fishing. No, not WoW raiding metal as fuck. Fishing metal as fuck. Whoa. Right? Fucking hell. Well, she did it for days on end, right? She just sat for days on end doing it. The final note is move and fish, guys. Move and fish. Duck and dive. Bob and weave. Bob and weave, guys. Bob and weave. Alright, so there you go. Okay? Oh, yeah. WoW-related injury. Right, let's get some names then. We need a guild master. No class, so I'll pick anyone. A mage. A lady would be preferable. A druid. And it just says the raid's top damage. Sure. The raid's top damage. Probably a mage. Oh, shit, you're mad. Although Shadow Priests do quite well now as well. Always nice to see the Shadow Priests. They put up with so much shit. Right, who's our guild master? We'll go with Bojo. Bojo, the guild master. We need a mage. Who's blue? Blue. Who's that? Oh, it's going so fast. You guys. Boom. Boom, 0 HP. Boom. I'm going to go with you, Boom. Boom, 0 HP. I like that name for a mage. Druid. Who's orange? It sounds like a lady. That's very specific. Oh, Inagami. It's kind of... I don't know if that is a lady's name, but it'll work. It'll work. And a top DPS. Who shall that be? Let's go with Light Up. Not had Light Up in forever. Light Up. Light Up will do. All right. Here you go. Greetings, Preacher, and a huge holler from Team USA. I've been watching your YouTube videos for quite a while now, and I found it makes great leveling and background music, background noise, especially Drama Time. If it wasn't for university, I would love to know how many of you watch the Drama Time YouTube while leveling and stuff. That's awesome to know. I would tune in if it weren't for the fact that I was in University and in Team USA. I would tune in every week to watch it live. I've been playing WoW for roughly 11 years. Has it been that long for us now? Is it like not just? You can't just say a decade now. It's like over that. I started when I was 10 with the creation of a protection warrior. Ironic considering for the first half of vanilla, prot was really just arms, correct? But this drama takes place much more recently with the launch of Warlords of Draenor. With the launch of Warlords of Draenor, I lost interest in the live servers, and many of my friends had moved on to private servers. One in particular. This is going to blow your fucking minds. I swear. All the shit I say in Drama Time. We had the racist door open last week. It's all going on. We've had bestiality to spider sex. But this is going to blow your mind. A private server which was on the Cataclysm 4.3 patch. That's Dragon Soul. It's a private server of the Dragon Soul. Right. Who's doing that? What the fuck are you doing with your life? What? What are you doing with your life when you're going on a private server to do the Dragon Soul? Oh my god, you sick bastards. That's disgusting. And as if we hadn't already raided Dragon Soul long enough. I know. Anyway, I succumbed to the mystical dark side of Warcraft, going in with very little expectations. Not even sure if it had enough players to even do anything. The server was reasonably active, and I quickly decided I would be playing a paladin. And I played a tank for so long, I decided that I will be a healer. We're going Holy Pally during the Dragon Soul. Oh my god. Jesus, the bacon will flow. What was the playstyle of a Holy Paladin during Dragon Soul? I can't even remember. Was it Light of Dawn spam? Maybe. I can't remember. It was too long ago. In live servers, I had always been an endgame heroic raider. I was completely invested in the PvE side of the game. From vanilla until shortly after the Dragon Soul was cleared. But I was bored and wanted a new thrill. I changed to the PvP side of the game. Being a stance dancing Fury Warrior was so much fun for my 17-year-old self. Anyway, that's just more of the backstory. I started leveling. And considering the higher experience rates, I hit level 85 in under a day. I went straight into, now some of you can help me here, straight into this is the word, RHOTs. I couldn't figure it out. I know I should know what it is, and probably it's dead obvious, but I can't think of what it is. I went straight into RHOTs, having been invited to a cesspool guild that was still at a very low level. You're on a cesspool guild on a private server playing Cataclysm Dragon Soul. Oh, random heroic of the day. Random hour of twilight. Oh, that makes sense. Wait, so just so we're clear, is everybody clear about where we are? We're on a private server in a cesspool guild doing Hour of Twilight on a Cataclysm private server. That's where we are. So I joined this guild, who was recruited as a 5 out of 8 normal Dragon Soul guild. I quickly bonded with many of the guildies and officers and was invited into a group once upon. I was... It's going to fuck you up, guys. I'm serious. I quickly bonded with many of the guildies and officers. I was invited to join Group 1 upon showing them my 85 and once reaching level 85 and considering my live achievements linked from the armory. Even on a private server, you must link your live achievements. Right? I want to see your live achievements. And that will dictate where you're going to be. Link achieve on the private server, though. Link achieve, though. We're not scrubs, though. Link armory. Link armory, though. They needed a healer, and the strength of the Holy Paladin spoke for itself back then. Holy Radiance overpowered. It was Holy Radiance spam. Right, Holy Radiance spam. We all remember that. The Holy Radiance spam. Jesus fucking Christ. Putting that aside, I raided for about a month, gearing under Bojo's leadership, progressing with the guild, taking down Ultraxian Normal and War Master, and always getting stuck on Spine, wiping for about an hour before calling it quits each week. Dude, that Spine of Deathwing Normal though? Shit. That's no joke though, Spine of Deathwing Normal, right? That's some fucking noise right there. One day, though, Bojo didn't show up for the raid, which was uncommon. So I did the only thing logical, having around 3 years of raid leading experience, and formed the group running, putting out the disclaimer that we will be going 8 out of 8 regardless of how long it takes, and we will do it today. Keep in mind, until now, Bojo's group only had... What? Bojo's group 1 had only gone up to Spine. Up to Spine. We one-shotted Morchok and your Sage on Heroic, getting guild achievements for both. Set to normal, change to normal, boys. For the next one, change to normal, no, your Sage down, change to normal. And then smashed through Ping Pong Boss. Fuck was that guy called? Never remember his name. I'm not looking at the chat, you're going to spoil it for me. Your Sage and... tentacle guy. I don't know. I can't remember. He was a shitty boss anyway. And we one-shot both Ping Pong Boss and Hagara. We wiped once on Ultraxion, though. Zonos. We wiped once on Ultraxion, though, due to the wrong tank staying out. That Ultraxion normal mode, though. Tough stuff. And then we one-shotted the War Master. Shit. Thing. Now came the real challenge. Spine of Deathwing normal. After 2 attempts, without Bojo, we were on the 3rd plate. Killed the 9-stack killed the 9-stack corruption, popped heroism, and destroyed the burning tendon, pushing our way onto the madness of Deathwing, which we one-shotted. Madness of Deathwing normal. There's no wiping on Madness of Deathwing normal. Did any of you wipe on Madness of Deathwing normal? I'm sure some of you did, right? I mean, it's bound to happen somewhere, but shit, that fight was so stupid on normal. Bojo logged in. Bojo logged in just in time to see the guild has earned the achievement Dragon Soul 10-man edition. Ooh. He did because the tank DC'd. Bummer. Yeah, we one-shot. I think I streamed it, actually. I think I streamed my first ever Madness of Deathwing, and it was... I did! I streamed all the Dragon Soul first raid. I remember just talking to the chat at the time and being, like, so fucking bored. That fight was so shit. I was like, this is really the last boss? For real, though? Okay. As well as many of us getting our Destroyer's End titles, Bojo was not happy. It turned out, though, he really didn't want to be a raid leader of Group 1 and asked me in the call if I would kindly take over raid leadership. I accepted and scheduled a new raid for the next day on Firelands 10-man heroic, which I may add we had only ever killed up to Rhyolith on. What do you guys consider up to Rhyolith? That's just Shanox, right? Or does Beth Tilak come before Rhyolith? I mean, you can really choose. But shit, we're going to make the plays now. Firelands 10 heroic, boys. Serious face. Now, Bojo was a nice enough guy. He's a nice enough guy. And I even kind of liked him. But then there was this officer. A female mage named Boom. Who would flash her tits to get anywhere in that Cataclysm private server. Needless to say, she had Bojo wrapped around her finger. Maybe Alice? Yeah. Did we kill Alice before Rhyolith? I can't remember. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Just asking. I don't think you're killing... I know this is off topic. I don't think you're killing Alice Razor before you're doing Rhyolith, though. Right? Shanox and Beth Tilak makes sense to do first. I would say they're easier, kind of. Well, yeah, on heroic, yeah, Beth Tilak heroic's really easy. You're not doing Alice Razor heroic before you're doing Rhyolith heroic. I don't think so. Well, there you go. You did? Really? Don't tell me. Okay, so anyway, here comes the lady. Boom. Boom. To the Firelands. We formed the group with 10 out of 10 guildies and smashed our way to Rhyolith. And after a few attempts, Rhyolith fell. Moving on to Major Domo. Oh, now my mind is fucking blown. Now, this line just says, alright, how do you read? I don't know. I'm so curious. I love people's raid progression. I know I'm a super nerd. They smashed their way to Rhyolith, and after a few attempts downed him, moving on to Major Domo. Does that mean you kill Bale? Is it Baelgor? Is he called Baelgor? Does that mean you kill everything before Rhyolith? That's crazy to me. That can't be right. Maybe. I imagine Balagor, whatever the fuck he was called. Okay. Moving on to Major Domo, who got turned into a potato. What a stupid boss Major Domo was. And we got turned into a potato. And now at this point, my whole team was pretty tired and stressed due to some other guild drama with Boom trying to force her way into the raid as she was seeing the kills pop up. Belrock, that was it. Belrock. Oh, you're actually winning? Can I join the raid? I can see you're killing stuff. What loot are you getting? Can I join the raid? Who's getting the staff fragments? That'll be it, won't it? She's a mage. Who's getting the staff fragments, though? Can I join the raid? I'll show you my tits. I will. I'll show you my tits. Which she was signed for the raid, but she had turned up late for. I decided to call it for the night and come back in the next day to finally down Ragnaros for the first time as a guild. Ragnaros Heroic, still one of the best encounters ever. So good. Ragnaros with legs. What's not to love? What's not to love? That's just the best thing ever. I barely slept in anticipation of being the only raid leader in the guild. To first take a team to 8 out of 8 in the Dragon Soul, and then to go 7 out of 7 in the Firelands. But managed to wake up well rested and ready to lead. I logged in about half an hour early to form the group. Getting my core in first, then inviting Bojo and Boom, because we were missing 2 of the DPS I would have preferred to take. One of my good friends from Live was also there on his 409 rep pally, which was best in slot at the time. We formed up and I asked all to hop in the call. Hearing 8 others join me, I asked politely, Boom! Boom! Will you please join the call? Boom didn't like this one bit. And then she said to me, I will if you moan for me. This was not happening at all, considering I had a girlfriend. And she was sat next to me, and frankly, I didn't give a shit about Boom. I responded, no, you'll join the call if you want to kill Heroic Ragnaros today, either for yourself or for the guild. She said, oh, what? I don't think Boom's a girl. Do you guys? Join the call. Nope. At this point, the person that she had filled in for logged on. The smugs. Boom. Preachers come online. So I just kicked her from the raid and invited the guy I wanted to come in the first place. Okay, see you then. Bye. She wasn't happy. She threw a fit in the officer chat. After getting in my actual raider and summoning him and in the call, I noticed that we only had 9 people in the call. I had noticed that Bojo had actually left the call. Oh, Bojo. Oh, don't do it, Bojo. It's not worth it. For the e-boob, she's not real. I typed politely, just to keep my cool. Bojo, will you please rejoin the raid call? I figured he had accidentally left or something. This was not the case. And I was met with an or what? I am your guild master. This is my team that I gave to you. I didn't appreciate this much and responded with, Bojo, I am the best raid leader you have. Not only taking your guild to 8 out of 8 normal for the first time in your guild, and actually getting the first 2 heroic kills in your guild. You can either join the call, or I will do the same as I did to Boom. He replied with, fine, do whatever you want. So I did! We killed Ragnaros and saw those wonderful achievements flood through the guild chat, followed by Firelands Guild Edition, as well as Heroic Ragnaros Guild Edition. What followed shortly, I cannot say I did not anticipate. I read smiling, you have been removed from the guild. I was quickly standing in front of the guild creation NPC, forming my new guild. I quickly invited my top damage, Light Up, as well as the entirety of Team 1, who had also been kicked as well for disobeying their guild master. Many others who left at seeing me being removed from the guild. Bojo was left with a smouldering ash of the remainder of what had been the largest alliance guild on that server. The Cesspool Guild, of course it's the largest. I haven't heard from Bojo since this happened, and we actually get more and more joining us every day. Until Bojo kicked everyone and said he was starting from scratch. However, his recruitment message across the server from his brand new guild still read that they were an 8 out of 8 and 7 out of 7 heroic guild. But you have no members though. But we're 8 out of 8. That's what you can take away from this. We're 8 out of 8 and 7 out of 7 Firelands heroic. So, you know what I mean. We're still pretty big. It's just me. It's just me. But I'm still using the progress. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. My guild is now the top guild on the server, running 8 out of 8 heroic on 2 teams and 1 footer. I can't take your progress seriously on the private server. I just can't. I know some of them are like really close to WoW Live, or if not identical. Augurs, why? But I just can't take it seriously. I know I'm being a dick. I'm sorry. This was until college started back up for me, and I had to hand over the guild to Inagami, a good friend and supporter of the guild since day one. Thank you for reading my drama story. I would happy to send you more as well. 11 years of WoW is full of all kinds of drama, and I have quite a few others. This is just the most recent and probably the funniest that I can remember. I'm now back on live servers. Welcome back. Playing when I can on my prot server, my prot warrior. I missed him and focusing primarily on my studies. Well, you have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing this on the YouTubes. I hope it's okay. It's not in PDF format. Yes, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I know. And 2 of those days, I'll put light up in Inagami. I thought you were more in it than that. So I will. Oh, you've already started. Yeah, I will note you down for tomorrow for the web show. So you'll be in there somewhere. That does bring us to the end of drama time, but not for streaming for the end of this week. That was some good nostalgia in some of those stories. I really liked it. We are streaming tomorrow, web show, me and Ghosty here. I have a surprise for Mr. Ghost. I have a wonderful little surprise lined up for him. I have a challenge for him, in fact. It's a challenge. I'm going to throw it down as a challenge. So I hope I will see most of you tomorrow. If not, have a great weekend. Do something cool. The sun appears to be out, especially in the UK. But obviously, you're from all over the world. So you always have the sun out. Some of you never do. Sad times. But other than that, do something cool, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. All right? Be good. Yes, I will be announcing the Transmog competition tomorrow. Also, please check my Twitter account, it's Preach Gaming, and retweet the tweet about the Legacy, because Blizzard wants to put something on the front. So please help me out if you can. Just go ahead and retweet it. That's all you need to do. All right, guys, thank you so much for that. I will see you again. Bye-bye.